Good morning, pre-algebra. Just want to spend some time on some review over some of our Chapter 5 material. I know we started Section 4 last week, 5.4, looking at solving inequalities, but I want to take a step back because after grading that second quiz that was on Section 3 material, I realized that I need to cover some of that material. So some of your warm-up problems are going to be on the mid-chapter quiz. You'll find that on page 242, and that's going to be some of our warm-up. So I want to cover a few problems that I saw some consistent mistakes and questions getting wrong, and so that you guys have an example to look at while you work on and choose which problems you want. So I want to first talk about writing inequalities from a sentence. So we're going to look at number 11. And what number 11 says, it says, more than 35,000 people attended a college football game. So we're trying to figure out, we don't know the number. So we know the number that we do know is we have 35,000. And we have our unknown, which is people. Well, let me write it across. So this is where we're going to put our inequality. Remember, our inequality symbols are more than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, so that's what we're going to put in this box. And we have people on the other side, because they're the unknown. We know it's more than 35,000 people. They're not telling us. But what's our symbol? Is what's being more than? Is it the people or is it 35,000? Well, in this case, it's the people. There are more people. There are more than. The number of people is greater than 35,000. So we could say that the crowd, it could be 36,000, or it could just be 35,001. But it cannot be less than 35,000. So there's our first example. Okay, let's see. Let's look at number 13. We'll skip 12. It says, Jameson's new guitar will cost at least $450. So we have our number. We'll write that first. We have 450. And we have our inequality, and then I'm going to put G, like it says in your book, for guitar. So I'll read it one more time. It says, Jameson's new guitar will cost at least $450. So that term, at least, is very important. When something is at least $450, that means that it can be equal to $450. So we know our symbol is going to have the equal to sign. So that's what that straight line for. But now we have to figure out is it greater than or less than? So it says at least $450. So can it be more than 450? I don't think so. Well, at least. 450, at least 450. So does that mean it's the lowest possible price, or is that the greatest possible price? Well, our answer is, if we said it's at least 450, that is actually our lowest possible price. So the guitar, it could be more than $450. So we've got to do our symbol, the more than, is towards the guitar, because it can be more than $450. It could be $500, but it's at least 450. It can't be any lower. It can be at least 450. That's the lowest possible. It can equal 450, but it can also be greater than 450. All right. Are you tracking with me? Remember, if you get stuck, just feel free to play back the video or, ask for help in real life. Please do that. Now, let's take a look at some of these graphs. and we're trying to see which one. Well, let's actually draw some graphs. So I'm going to give you a situation, and then I'm going to show you how I would draw the graph. So we're going to start with our variable a, and we're going to say a is greater than 20. Okay, so let's draw a graph over here. And you can draw your number line however you want, but I just like to write 20 in the middle. And so we'll step down and say this is 15, this is 10, whoa, and this is 5, and then we'll increase by 5s. So over here we got 25. I bet you those squeaks sound good. Okay, so A is greater than 20. So we've got our circle here, and the first thing is we got to figure out, do we fill it in? Does it include 20? Can our answer equal 20? No, it cannot, because it's not equal to 20. It's not greater than and equal to, it's just greater than. So now our numbers, are they going to be higher or lower? Well, A is greater than, so that means it's got to be bigger. So our arrow, let's see, I can do a different color, is going to go this way. And we do not fill in that circle because it is not equal to. So this goes on for infinity, up as high as it can go. Alright, let's look at another example here. Let's do B is less than or equal to 20. So we'll draw this one in blue. So we've got our circle here. Now do we fill it in? Yes, we do. What do you fill it in? And which direction is B greater or less? And B is less, so that means it's smaller. So our arrow is going to go this direction for infinity, and the answer includes 20. 20 can be a correct answer. If we write in 20 here, this is true. But if we write 20 in here, this is not true. It's not a true statement. And that's all these inequalities look for, is we're trying to figure out the truth. What is true? Okay, I guess while I'm making this video, we can do another example of Section 4 material, just to see if you guys got it. So I'm going to practice. I'm just going to choose a random problem. I'm looking at number 11 on page 247. So that's number 11 on 247. And that one is A plus 18 is less than 40. So we treat this as a normal algebraic equation. We're trying to separate our variable and get our constants, these are our constants, remember, on the same side. So we're going to subtract 18 from each side. So now we are left with A is less than 22. Oops, is that the correct answer? Yes, it is. Now let's try another one where we've got some tricks that can go on. What if we took a look at number 25? So this one we've got 4x is greater than, almost forgot the x, negative 36. So we've got to do some division here. We're going to divide by 4 both sides. So now we're left with x is greater than negative 9. Okay, is that true? Yes, that's true. Now, what if it was negative 4x. That's going to be a different story. If we're dividing by a negative, remember this is one of our rules, if we divide by a negative, then we have to switch our inequality sign. So then we end up with x is actually less than 9, positive 9. Okay, and that's one of our rules. And you can find that rule on page 246. It says whenever we multiply or divide, and it's only negative numbers. This isn't any, it only has to do with negative numbers. And it only has to do with multiplying and dividing. So we can add or subtract negative numbers, but when we do multiplication or division with negatives, then we have this funky thing going on. Alright, so if you need more help, please ask for help. In real life, please, please, please. Can't stress it enough, but I hope this video helps, as it seems like you guys like it. Alright, continue on.